Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Somerset, Kentucky. We are the McLean County Sports Network, and we're excited to be bringing you live Game 13, Week 13, Playoff Round 3 action between your McLean County Cougars and the homestanding Somerset Briar Jumpers. I'm Heath Hicks. Alongside me is Trey Englehart. Say hello, Trey.
What's up, guys?
Also with us tonight are Aaron Ring, Nate Carlock, and Corbin Case, representing the Sports Network for you guys down here at the Briar Patch. Beautiful stadium in Eastern Kentucky. First time we've ever been here, and more than excited to be up here in the booth and be bringing you the live action here tonight. We are about 22 minutes from kickoff, and we wanted to go through a couple of things to set this game up for you, as the Briar Jumpers are not somebody that we see very often. Actually, this is the first matchup between these two squads ever. So without further ado, let's go ahead and set this thing up. McLean County comes into this game 8-4. After dropping the first 3 games of the season, McLean County has been on a run that has been arguably the most special in our program's history, winning 8 of the last 9 games, including that historic upset of Owensboro Catholic last week at Still Stadium. The Briar Jumpers, on the flip side of things, come into this game 11-1, and they too had a massive victory last week, beating number 1 in the state, Lexington Christian Academy. So Trey, we'll set this up first for McLean County. Folks, everybody knows a little bit about this team at this point in the season, but last week's huge victory over Owensboro Catholic is something that I believe Trey, and everybody else that witnessed it will remember for the rest of their lives.
Most definitely.
In that game, McLean County defeated Owensboro Catholic 37-36, and led by a lot of Cougars in that game, particularly Landon Capps and Andrew Munster, combined for over 230 yards on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns between them. And then Peyton Caraway hooking up on a couple of huge pass plays in the game to really set the offense. And in that game, Trey, I think we saw the recipe that we need in this game against another explosive offensive team in Somerset, and that revolves around ball control. McLean County has to run the ball and have long, sustained drives. And they have to pay those drives off with touchdowns. They have to keep this Somerset offense off of the field if they want to come out of this game and really compete. This is a Somerset team that, in my opinion, I believe, general opinion, is arguably the top team in the state of Kentucky in Class 2A. They were number 1 in the state for 6 weeks of the season, I believe. Lost to LCA by 1 point in Week 7. Turned around and beat them last week by 2. And they are a load. They are big. They are strong. They throw the ball well. They run the ball well. And we're really going to have to do a good job of keeping their offense off the field. An offense that is led by junior quarterback Kaya Sharon. The junior has thrown for 2,630 yards this year, 21 passing touchdowns. He's also rushed for 766 yards, 8 touchdowns this season. Trey, I know you've seen a little bit about him. What do you think McLean County has to do tonight to limit this explosive quarterback?
I think our secondary and our cornerbacks are going to have to come up big here, not give them the easy balls. I feel like we're really going to have to lock down on the defensive side. And I think getting pressure back to the quarterback is going to be very important, because if he has time just to sit around in the pocket, he's going to pick us apart.
And that's something we saw last week when Drew Hartz had time, which he had time a lot. McLean County wasn't able to pressure him much, and he had a very high pass completion percentage. And that's key. McLean County predominantly plays a zone defense when it comes to coverage. When you do that, you really rely on those 4 guys up front and your linebacking crew to get pressure on the quarterback and make him make tough, quick decisions. So we'll see how Coach Wagner and Coach Cook scheme tonight to limit the Briar Jumpers in that respect. If you look at them statistically, Somerset is pretty even in their passing and running attacks. However, if you look at their rushing attack, they have a lot of guys that have touched the ball all year, really. There's not one explosive back that you'll say, well, look out for this guy. But if you watch film, number one is somebody to keep an eye on. That's Jace Bruner. He is a big, strong running back, and he's had some success, especially here lately, for the Briar Jumpers on the ground. Defensively, the Briar Jumpers are very good. They have held opponents this year to 189 points over the course of 12 games. That's a pretty good average. They've held opponents to about 2,500 total yards of offense, both rushing and passing in those games. McLean County, on the flip side of things, has been very explosive, particularly in the running game. We have 4,500 yards on the season. 4,000 of those come from our rushing attack, and that's led by Mr. Landon Capps, who had a humongous game in Owensboro last week. Mr. Capps is over 1,000 yards on the season. Andrew Munster is nipping at that century mark, trying to become the first duo to rush for 1,000 yards at McLean County since I believe Bryson Parker and Trevor Turley did it about 4 years ago. Munster has been a goal line back. He has been really good at picking up short yardage, 3-4 yards at a time, and he's going to have to do much of the same tonight. Other thing to note about Andrew Munster is what he's done on the defensive side of the ball. He comes into this game, I believe, and let me double check the stats here. He comes into this game with 181 tackles on the year. That is just one shy of the McLean County single-season record for most tackles in a season, currently held by Scotty Woodburn and Kent Burton, I believe. So expect that record to be broken, as well as a lot of others for McLean County tonight. Last week, they became the highest-scoring team in McLean County history. They broke the single-season touchdown record in McLean County last week. They were about 30 yards away from breaking the rushing record. So a lot of statistical records to keep an eye on here tonight. But anyway, with that, we're about 14 minutes away, and we're going to play here in just a second an interview that, Trey, you had with Coach Wagner. What was your general feel about Coach Wagner coming into this game before we show this interview?
He seemed confident, a lot more confident than I would have expected. I mean, he almost excited to a point to come in here and play these guys.
And you know, this team, it really gets to this mindset that Coach Wagner has fostered here ever since he arrived in Calhoun several years back, and that is a never-give-up attitude, a mentality that, hey, there's a football game, let's go try to win it. I believe this team, more so than any team he's coached, maybe more so than any team that we've seen in McLean County, really embodies that mentality. They're not too afraid of the numbers, of the records, of the history, anything like that. And coming into a matchup like this against an extremely good Somerset team, an historically good Somerset team by their standards, which are really high, you have to have that kind of mentality if you want to hang around in a game like this. So here is Coach Zach Wagner and our own Mr. Trey Englehart in an interview that we had just the other day. Hope you enjoy, and we'll be right back on the flip side.
Hello, McLean County. I am Trey Englehart here with the McLean County Sports Network. With me, I have Coach Wagner, head football coach. How are you feeling today, Coach?
Feeling really well.
Okay, so after a big win Friday, and we're advancing to the third round of the playoffs, first time in school history. How does it feel to beat Owensboro Catholic?
Feels great. I think our kids and coaching staff alike are finally coming down from the high of the win, and it's time to get back to work. We got a daunting task ahead of us with Somerset.
Speaking of Somerset, how do you plan on stopping the rushing and the passing attack from Somerset, particularly Sharon, their quarterback?
Obviously, he's very athletic. Coach Hicks and I were talking earlier today. He reminds me of a Trevor Turley, and no knock to Trevor. Maybe a Trevor Turley times 2 because he's taller. He's a little bit more rangy. So obviously, we're going to have to get a hat on him and maybe even have a spy on him in the backfield with Munster.
Okay. Well, now we talked about how you're going to defend their offense. So how are you going to attack their defense?
Our game plan doesn't change offensively, not too much as it was last week. We knew we had to keep the ball away from Drew Hart's and company. We're going to do the same thing with Somerset and their athletes and their stable of big backs. We hope to just churn out as much yards as we can and eat up as much time we can and keep the ball in their hands.
That sounds good. So what do you think is your biggest strength coming into Friday?
Hopefully it's the confidence that was gained from last Friday. And then I think our continued weightlifting and strength from that is going to give us an opportunity to compete with a much bigger team and allow us to stay on the field with them.
Okay, and one more question. How big of an impact will the pet bus and the fans coming have on this game?
I think it's great. I just found out that we have a full bus and possibly 2, and I think that gives kudos to our school and to Coach Humphrey for making that happen, and then that gives us some added confidence. I mean, it's a far trip. It'd be great to see some familiar faces there.
Okay, so you guys heard it. If you guys can make it, please come out to Somerset, ride the pet bus, and if not, the McLean County News Sports Network will be broadcasting. And thank you, Coach Wagner.
Thank you.
Hello, folks, and we are back here at the Briar Patch. 9:20 remaining on the pregame clock before we kick this thing off, and we'll be in round 3 of these KHS Gridiron playoffs. Before that, I just want to talk a little bit about the significance of our McLean County Cougars getting to this point. As you're well aware of by now, this is the first time a McLean County team has ever advanced to the 3rd round of the Kentucky High School football playoffs, so that's significant in its own right. But me personally, I like to look at things and kind of compare things. My excitement, I think the excitement level for everybody to something that everyone can relate to. And one of the things in sports that I think most of you can relate to best is March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament. So in comparing what we've done so far to that, think of McLean County kind of as a mid-major team, a Western Kentucky, a Murray State University. When you're watching the NCAA tournament, when you see these teams advance into the Sweet 16, that's kind of like McLean County winning a first playoff game. You know, winning that playoff game gets us to the Sweet 16, and it's actually the Sweet 16 of the state. And it's kind of the same feeling that I get. It's exciting. It's really nice. We've done it a few times, so that's a huge step, and that's something that we were able to do last year. winning this game, or the game last week, to get to this game and reaching the Elite Eight. That's a similar thing that a team like Murray or Western or somebody like that would experience getting to the Elite Eight. It's very exciting. It's rare. It doesn't happen very often. It's very, very special. And what our boys were able to do the other night, the intestinal fortitude, the play calls, the game plan, everything from that McLean County sideline was very special last Friday. So I wanted to say that. We're about to do the national anthem, but I want you to watch this little video that Dr. G made for us. Hopefully it excites you. We'll be right back. All right, folks, and we are back. 5 minutes until kickoff here at the Briar Patch. Beautiful field here in Somerset. Brand new turf field here at a beautiful facility. We are up here in the press box. We're actually on the second row up here. We're going to bring you the best video that we can. There are going to be a couple of blind spots that you need to be well aware of when it comes to game film. We're going to try to keep you informed as best we can, but I believe it's around the 30-yard line, and you'll see this as I pan to the left, the 30-yard line. We have a large block of our view there, and then down on the opposite end, we're going to have some difficulty seeing right there inside the 20-yard line. So just to be aware of that as you guys are watching from home. One really neat thing that I find fascinating is down in the end zone here at Somerset. They have an area for children to play, which I thought was pretty cool. So anyway, we're sitting here. We're waiting on the coin flip and starting to get riled up. The rest of the Sports Network crew is back up in the booth, and we are getting ready to go. We want to remind everyone that if you're unsure, if anybody's struggling to find the game on YouTube, this is our new channel. Just refer to them to mchs.tv. They can type that in to their browser, and they can go straight to our channel. If that doesn't work, type in McLean County News Network in YouTube, and that will bring this feed to them as well. So anyway, we're going to take a very short break, and we will be right back to finish up our pregame for this round 3 matchup between your Cougars and the homestanding Somerset Briar Jumpers. All right, folks, and we are back. The coin toss was just done. McLean County won the toss, is elected to receive the kickoff, and we're inside about 20 seconds as both of these teams are about set to be introduced and get this big game underway. A couple of things we want to apologize about. First, the reflection that you see in the windows in front of you. We're going to try our best to give you the best video footage we can. Like we said, this is we're on the second row here in this press box, and trying to get you the best views as possible. Secondly, we wish we could have shown you the national anthem there and given you audio for that. We don't have audio capabilities, so it would have just looked like you were looking there at midfield regardless. But anyway, the clock is at 12 minutes, Trey. The teams are walking out on the field, and we're about to have some more playoff football here in Somerset.
Tonight's opening kickoff brought to you by Somerset Boots, South Central Kentucky's source for boots from Western work boots for the entire family. Popular name brands like Justin, Red Wing, Rado, Carolina, and Dan Post. Kick off your day with a new pair of boots from Somerset Boots. And the one thing that Coach Lucas touched on before
he mentioned that the McLean County offense was in no hurry to run any play. They're going to try to shorten the game as best they can, run the clock all the time, keeping the players inbound.
I tell you what, Trey, both teams out on the field. Number 85, Tommy Wobble, set to kick the ball to the Cougars here. I was actually watching him pregame. Wobbles was kicking about 40-yard field goals, which is nice. This is a line drive kick. That's fielded by Houston Bolton at the 5, and he's trying to find room up the middle, and he gets out across about the 35-yard line. Decent field position for McLean County to start their first drive of the game.
Yeah, we've really seen Houston Bolton pick up his game towards the end of the season. He looks way more confident than he did out there in the beginning of the season, and he's really starting to pick it up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right there, it looked like he might have had a little gap. I was hoping to see him bust that a little bit. But regardless, McLean County first and 10 from their own 35. Matthew Miller goes under center. And looked like a dropped exchange there. Picked up by... couldn't see who jumped on that ball, actually. And Trey, last week at Owensboro Catholic, particularly in the first half, we had some issues on exchanges, had 4 fumbles in the first half, lost 2 of them, and really put us in a difficult spot early. We were able to recover, but we cannot do that tonight as Landon Capps gets the ball, and he hands it to Andrew Munster, who's actually wearing number 35 tonight. He's trying to get outside, and the Briar Jumpers are there. 2-yard loss on the play. That's going to set up 3rd and 14 for your Cougars.
Yeah, like you were saying, the Briar Jumpers are way more skilled defensively than Owensboro Catholic. So if we want a chance at moving the ball down the field, we have to stay disciplined and do the little things right.
Absolutely. So here we go. 3rd and 13, for McLean County. Matthew Miller goes under center, 1 wide out right. Got Capps and Munster in the backfield. Capps goes in motion, pitch out to Capps. He's trying to get outside to the edge. He cuts it back at the 35. He's brought down just shy of the 40. And Capps doing what he's done several times this year, cuts one back, but it looks like there's going to be a hold on the play, and that will be against McLean County. And looks like Somerset is going to accept that penalty. So that is a spot foul on the play. It's going to set up a 3rd and 18 now for McLean County here with 11 minutes to play in the first quarter, a minute into this game. Houston Bolton out wide right. And the ball is given short side to Caps. He's trying to cut it back against the grain, stays on his feet, gets out to about the 32-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th and long for McLean County and a punt situation upcoming.
Yeah, those last 2 runs by Caps actually gained positive yard minus the holding penalty there. But if we keep that up and we gain 3 or 4 yards of play, then if we start off with better field position, that might actually be a benefit to us.
Yeah, and last week as Hurley gets the punt away and Houston Bolton catches the ball right at his own 48-yard lines or 47-yard lines. That's where Somerset is going to start. But we had a rough start last week at Owensboro Catholic, led to 2 quick Owensboro Catholic scores there in the first quarter, but we were able to regroup and really recover in that game. Hopefully we'll see much of the same here tonight. As the Briar Jumpers led by quarterback number 2, Kaya Sharon, 6'3", 195, junior quarterback. He's thrown for 2,600 yards this year, ran for 700. One of the more electric players in the entire state of Kentucky. He's in the shotgun, had 3 wide left. He's rolling left. He's looking to throw. Decent coverage downfield by McLean County. And we get pressure on him, and he actually had a receiver. He's dropped. Ball falls incomplete. Jaden Nelson, number 2, on the coverage there. McLean County was able to get in the backfield and covered pretty well downfield on that play, Trey.
Yeah, if we do that all night, then we'll be in pretty good shape defensively. I mean, all the receivers were covered, and we actually got some pressure into the backfield, which is exactly what we need to be successful defensively.
So Sharon hands the ball off here, and hard to see the number there. Looked to be, was that number 3 on the carry?
It'd be Cam Austin.
Yes, number 3, Cam Austin. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Briar Jumpers here. Got 2 wide both ways for Sharon. Shotgun again. Quick pass out left. He connects, and that's number 7 who put a juke on the cornerback, and he walks into the end zone for a touchdown here with 9:23 to play in the first quarter. 43-yard strike there, and nifty move by the receiver. That's number 7, Cade Grundy. Grundy is the leading pass catcher for Sharon on the season. And a nice little move he put on him right there. And that puts the Briar Jumpers in the driver's seat. And some movement here on the extra point try.
Yeah, one thing that we're going to have to make sure we do is we're going to have to hit them and wrap up on the first time. You know, we can't have them missing, or we can't miss 2 or 3 tackles and expect our other defensive players to come in and make the play. The first guy there has to make the play in order to be successful.
Yes, and that play was set up for Grundy right there. If he can make that first man miss, he had a wall of blockers. He literally walked into the end zone after that because of how well that play was designed. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So with 9:23 to play here in the first quarter, Somerset leads your McLean County Cougars 7-0 here at the Briar Patch, Clark Field. With that, we are going to take a quick timeout of our own to thank our sponsors. We are the McLean County Sports Network. We appreciate everything you do, and we will be right back. All right, folks, and we are back here at the Briar Patch in Somerset. The Briar Jumpers just went in for 6 tacked on an extra for 7. And here with a little over 9 minutes to play in the first quarter, your Cougars trail 7-0 in the third round of the KHSAA Gridiron Football Playoffs. And Trey, not a great start to this game, but we saw much of the same last week, was able to recover, and we'll see if we can do the same here tonight. As Wobbles kicks it, that's Bolton. He fills it at his own 6-yard line. He's veering right, and he is stuck at the 21-yard line. Big hit right there on the play, and Hootie, he hopped up quick, but man, that was a shot he took.
Yeah, this Somerset team is bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic than any other team that we've played before. So I mean, just coming into this game, it's kind of like a punch in the mouth, trying to run an offense against these guys.
Yeah,
so,
they're very big. You can see just looking at them that they are much larger than us on the defensive side of the ball. They run well. They have many athletes. As there's a whistle and a timeout, McLean County. We're just going to stay right here and excuse me. Looking across, pretty good McLean County contingent here tonight, Trey. A lot of people traveled this afternoon after they got off work to come all the way to Somerset. It was a haul. We actually left school this afternoon about 1 o'clock, and we're able to get down here in time, make sure everything was working properly so we could bring this to you guys that were unable to make the trip. But we very much appreciate you tuning in. And here we go. McLean County out starts their first drive from their own 21-yard line. Landicaps goes in motion, running left. It's a double, triple reverse. Peyton Caraway throwing it deep. Ball hangs up. Landicaps comes back, makes a play, makes a man miss, gets out across the 50-yard line into Briar Jumpers territory. The ball is out. They're going to say Landicaps was down on the play. And what a play by Landicaps. Triple reverse. Peyton Caraway throws the ball up, didn't have a good grip on it, kind of came out wobbly. Landicaps comes back. He had the man beat. He had a couple of steps. Comes back, makes a play, makes a man miss. McLean County, with a little trickery, picks up its first down of the game. And who else? Number 6, Landicaps, making it happen.
And that's really what this offense is designed to do. I mean, just to confuse the defense. And we had Landicaps really 1-on-3 with a bunch of the opposing team, and he somehow found a way to catch it.
He tends to do that as the ball is given, and I couldn't see the number on that one. They were stacked up in the backfield. That was Andrew Munster. No, I'm sorry, that was not Andrew Munster. That was Landon Camps, actually, who was stuck in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 12 from the 50.
Yeah, the Cougars are going to have a lot of trouble trying to run it straight up the middle, as we've actually done quite easily against the other teams, but this team right here is just so different than any other team we've played. We're going to struggle trying to get it up the middle. Yeah,
we have to be creative, and that's a big thing about this offense, this hybrid wing T. As Miller rolls out right, ball is loose, and it looks like Somerset has recovered it. And we're looking to see if the Somerset player had control of the ball. No indication. The officials are meeting, and they are going to say Somerset football. There was a flag on the play, declined against McLean County there. Matthew Miller rolling out right, had pressure from his blind side. He double pumped on the throw and was not able to secure the football. Yeah. So similar to last week, McLean County's second drive of the game ends in a turnover, and a great field position again for the Briar Jumpers here from the McLean County 42-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Miller was actually trying to get rid of it, just couldn't do it in time, and got hit a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Sharon throws back across and connects Nice strike on the play. That's number 25. 25, Jaden Gilmore on the reception. Takes it down inside the 22, the McLean County 14-yard line. Pickup of 39 on the play. I'm sorry, 34 on the play. Trying to do some math on the fly. I'm not the best at that. Run middle, and that's going to be a pickup of about 4 on the play.
Yeah, once again, Somerset going with that balanced offense. You know, they throw one play and then they run the next, and it's keeping McLean County on their toes.
Yes, extremely balanced offense. Probably the most balanced offense we've seen this year. Do a lot out of a lot of different formations. And Sharon, he's looking to pass, and he's going to take off. He's got pressure. He flips it up, and the ball falls incomplete. Sharon getting pressure, tried to flip it up and over the top to number 44. That was Jared Smith. A little bit too much air under it. That falls incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Briar Jumpers here. 6:57 to play in the first quarter here in Somerset. That was a risky pass, Trey.
Very risky. He was kind of banking on us not being able to get that.
Yep. And the ball is given middle. And that is number 3, Cam Austin, goes into the end zone for the touchdown. And just like that, the Briar Jumpers tack on another touchdown.
Basically walked into the end zone untouched by anyone.
And that was a 10-yard touchdown run for Austin. Somerset on for the extra point. Bad snap on the play. And ball is still on the ground, and it is picked up by Peyton Caraway. In high school, there's no opportunity to score on that, so it's just going to be a failed extra point. So with that, your score is now 13-0 in favor of the Briar Jumpers here. 6:52 to play in the first quarter. And with that, we're going to take a quick break of our own, but this time we're going to give a little shout-out, a little love to Dr. G with this outstanding little animation he put together for tonight's game. We're in the McLean County Sports Network, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Houston Bolton again fields the ball at the 5-yard line, and he's veering up the middle. He finds a little room, gets out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Decent return on the play, 29 yards for Houston Bolton. McLean County is going to set up for their 3rd drive of the game. And Trey, we've seen a little trickery. We had the big pass, extremely athletic play by Landon Capps. What do we need to do moving forward?
Again, it's just the little things. I mean, really turnovers and ball control. We haven't held on to the ball for very long at all. The Somerset offense has been on the field most of the game, and really we need to stick to our guns. I think we should get to the outside more with Landon Capps and see what that brings.
I like your thinking. Connor Baldwin goes in motion. The ball is given to Andrew Munster running left. He's going to pick up 2 on the play, and I believe that's the first positive yardage tonight out of Mr. Munster. He came into this game about 70, just shy of 70 yards from the century mark on the season. So something to keep an eye on as this game moves forward. And so far, Somerset has really imposed their will, specifically up front. We've seen them get pressure in the backfield multiple times. We'll see if the motion and the different looks from Coach Wagner can disrupt this Somerset defense as Matthew Miller goes under center. Sends Connor Baldwin in motion. The ball is given to Munster middle. He gets out across the 40, churns out to the 43-yard line. Nice pickup on the play by Munster. There is a flag that came in there a little late. We're going to see if his 7-yard run is going to stand.
And one thing I see is Somerset is actually rushing between 5 to 6 to 7 guys at a time to try and get in the backfield. And, you know, it's a lot for our offensive line to handle, but they still opened up a hole for Munster to get in. And, I mean, he gained a good amount of yards out of that.
Yeah, solid pickup on the play, and then the face mask on top of that is actually going to put McLean County out close to midfield, as they're going to spot this after the penalty at the 48-yard line. So 1st and 10 Cougars. Munster in the backfield. He's got 2 wide out left. That hybrid wing of Coach Wagner's offense. Miller hands the ball back to Munster. He's hit immediately and dropped at the 45-yard line. So it's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. And Coach Wagner tried to overload a little bit to the left side, and Somerset still able to get penetration into the backfield. Hit Munster just moments after he received that handoff. And that's tough. That's actually the first play that we've seen where Coach Wagner did not send somebody in motion to kind of distract those linebackers, and they made him pay. So here we go. Sophomore Zach Clayton now in the backfield, set up behind Matthew Miller. Peyton Caraway on the wing left, Connor Baldwin right. Matthew Miller is going to keep this, and he's going to get back close to the original line of scrimmage. Going to pick up 2 yards on the play. Matthew Miller, not a quarterback you're going to see do a whole lot with his legs. However, last week in the Owensboro Catholic game, we did see him break a big one for 32 yards on a similar play. He was able to gain positive yardage there, but Somerset, big and strong, was able to recover quickly. So here we go, 4:14 remaining here in the first quarter. 3rd and 11 for the Cougars. Line to gain is the Somerset 42-yard line. Miller goes under center. Peyton Caraway goes in motion. It's going to be flipped back to Caraway. He's looking to throw. He gets rid of it, and that is caught by Connor Baldwin. Beautiful pass by the senior Peyton Caraway. Hooks up with the junior Connor Baldwin. Gets down to the 41 of the Briar Jumpers. That's going to be a first down, McLean County.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of McLean County. What is that? Is that our 3rd pass that we've tried to throw? I mean,
yeah, I think second time we actually got rid of it.
Yeah.
3rd passing play we've put on, and we're going to have to do that tonight. The Briar Jumpers are big and strong. They're going to load up the box against our run. We have to get something to get them back on their heels a little bit. And Peyton Caraway delivered a nice ball right there. We saw him deliver a couple of nice ones last week as well. As Miller goes under center, 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Ball is given. No, it's not given. That's another mistake as the cover, as the Cougars fumble yet another handoff. And the Briar Jumpers are all over it. Turnover, McLean County, and we're going the other way. And that's frustrating, Trey, especially after a really positive play by Peyton Caraway, hooking up on a nice pass. Might have a little bit going. It looked like miscommunication as Miller went to give it. And Peyton Caraway's actually going out wide right. It looked like it should have been going to him. Regardless, here come the Briar Jumpers. Shoestring tackle gets number 35, Guy Bailey, to the ground, but after 11-yard pickup, that's going to be good enough for a first down for Somerset.
and you know, going back to the fumble, we're in the 3rd round of the playoffs, you know, and even last week we fumbled quite a bit, and you just expect those kinks to be worked out as Sharon throws right, he makes a couple of guys miss, and he looks like he's going to get almost another first down.
And that's Bailey, the running back with the big pickup. They're going to give it. It's going to be second and less than a yard for Somerset here, as the Briar Jumpers again are driving. 2:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Sharon in the shotgun, 2 wide right, and he is going to keep it, and he has the first down. He's going to leap out of bounds around the 25-yard line of McLean County. And nice pickup by the athletic junior quarterback.
First down, Jumpers!
Pickup of 13 on the play for big number 2. And showing his versatility there a little bit.
Yeah, and they've scouted this guy. They know exactly what he's capable of, and he just doing whatever he wants right now, really.
He really is. 2 wide right, or both ways. He throws left, and it's on the money. That's number 7, his favorite target, Cade Grundy. That's going to be a pickup of about 7 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 3 for the Briar Jumpers.
Yeah. Grundy is a 6'2", 200-pound junior. And, as a receiver, those are guys that we're used to being on the line, but he's able to get out, catch the ball, and be athletic. And we're just not it's an uphill battle for McLean County.
It is. As number 3, Cam Austin takes a handoff running right with a head of steam, and he is in the end zone for a touchdown. He was able to get to the edge and fight through a couple of arm tackles. There was a late flag in the end zone there. I'm sure that's going to be after the play. That's going to be a touchdown run of 19 yards. Austin's 2nd touchdown of the game. Big number 3 does it again. The senior running back comes in 5'10", 204 is what he's listed at. And once he gets ahead of steam, I don't think there are many people that's going to bring him down in the open field.
Looks like it was a personal foul against McLean County.
Personal foul in McLean County. Following the play there, it's going to be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. PAT on the way, and it is good. So here with 1:35 to play in the first quarter, Somerset leads your McLean County Cougars 20-0 at the Briar Patch here in Somerset, Kentucky. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to thank our sponsors for this entire season. We appreciate your support and allow us to bring these games to you week by week. So we are the McLean County Sports Network. We will be right back. All right, folks, and we are back. So following that extra point, and with the penalty, the Briar Jumpers are actually going to kick this from the McLean County 45-yard line. And
he might kick it to the field goal.
Yeah, shouldn't have a whole lot of trouble getting this to the end zone. Oh, he's going to actually squib it middle, and McLean County dives on it at the 14-yard line. It's actually tipped. Munster jumps on the ball, taking no risks there. And Trey, we're almost done with the first quarter here, but this Somerset team came out with a lot of energy, a lot of purpose, and they're showing why they were ranked number 1 in the state for a while this year, and I believe they feel like they've been the top team in the state the entire year. They're big, they're strong, they're fast. They come from a lot of different directions and a lot of different ways. They run the ball well, they throw the ball well. They defend well. So we'll see if McLean County can get anything going here on the offensive side, but we are pinned deep in our territory after that kickoff. As Miller goes under center. And it's quick pitch to Peyton Caraway, trying to run out right. Nothing doing there. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, I think that the Cougars are going to run some more like tricky plays to try and get the Somerset defense guessing, because if we're just going to take the ball and hand it up the middle, it's giving them 2 yards.
Yeah, last week against Owensboro Catholic, we were really able to exploit Owensboro Catholic's real weakness, their defensive and offense, or really their defensive front. And in that game, Andrew Munster, Landon Capps were able to really get whatever they wanted in the middle, 3-4 yards every time. This is the exact opposite. There's a flag on the play for false start. Look to be on the right side of the offensive line for McLean County. But the defensive front for Somerset is the polar opposite of what we saw last week at Owensboro Catholic. These guys are big, tough, and mean, and they've really imposed their will early on here in this game.
And the Cougars, again, making a real small mistake that has, major repercussions. I mean, it's just that we're at the point of the season where those kinks should be worked out.
You're right. And Zach Clayton gets the ball. He's met at the 5-yard line. Loss of 2. Loss of 4. We'll say 3 for the sophomore on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and very long for the McLean County Cougars here. As with 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter, I suppose Coach Wagner is going to elect to let this thing run out and flip fields here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So, Trey, rough first quarter there. Weren't really able to counterpunch several punches from the Briar Jumpers. And we'll see if we can generate anything here in the second quarter, even though we are pinned up deep in our own territory. So we are the McLean County Sports Network, and like we said, we very much appreciate all of your support this year, community, sponsors, everyone being able to bring you these games week in and week out is really, truly a joy for us. And we appreciate it. Again, we want to remind everybody, if you know of anyone that's struggling to get the game, please go to our channel. You can go to mchs.tv. You'll be able to watch girls and boys basketball games this winter via our channel. And refer anybody that's having any issues to that. They could also go to YouTube and type in McLean County News Network. That is our new channel. Please, on there, like it, subscribe to our channel, and you won't have any issues with any of our broadcasts moving forward this year. So with that, I'm going to step away for a little bit. I'm going to let Aaron Ring hop on here with you guys and work with Trey to bring you the second quarter action.
Alrighty, Cougar fans, we are back. I'm Trey Englehart here with Aaron Ring. As looks like it's going to be a handoff to Connor Baldwin to the outside. He finds some room, makes a spin move, and gets drugged straight to the ground. So that's going to bring up 4th down and deep for McLean County, stuck back or pinned with their backs against the wall. Aaron, you were outside watching the game. What do you think about it?
This is a very tough team, Trey. Their defense and offense are both phenomenal. So we're going to have to, step it up a little bit and kind of match them a little more if we're going to pull out the win.
Yes, I agree. I mean, this is the toughest team that we've played this season, and they're the number 1 team in the state for a reason. As Peyton Caraway is back, he makes a high arcing punt, and looks like Grundy's going to get it. He spins off of Houston Bolton. He gets to the outside, and he's going to be brought down there by number 73. Kenny Brooks there with a nice tackle, even though the Briar Jumpers start off in great territory deep in McLean County. So the Cougars defense here really going to have to step it up and try to contain their quarterback, Kaya Sharon, as he's in the shotgun. There is going to be a flag on the play. We'll await the call. It's going to be a false start against the Briar Jumpers. So they will start 5 yards back, and it'll be 1st and 15. And Sharon is going to be in the backfield with singles to his left and right. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a handoff to number 75, who gets stopped there by number, I think that was number 35, Andrew Munster, who picked up the tackle at first. Great tackle there, regarding the size of number 56. I mean, Andrew Munster is strong, but he's not exactly the biggest guy, and he hit him with a full head of steam and stopped him in his tracks.
No,
so
yeah, that's exactly what we need right now. Good stop.
So it looks like it's going to be about 2nd and 13. Pass to number 25. That is dropped. Almost had a chance to be getting picked off. And once again, we apologize for the view. It's a little wonky up here, but we're giving you guys the best video that we can give. So sorry if you guys can't see a whole lot of the game, but we're working with what we got up here. So Sharon's in the shotgun. He's got twins out to his left and right. He's going to take the snap. He's dropping back. He's got some pressure. The ball is out, and I think that's recovered by McLean County.
Looks like it.
Wow, okay, so McLean County gets a sack and recovers the fumble and gives Somerset a taste of their own medicine.
Wow, that's awesome to see.
Yeah, so Somerset gets a great field position there, has an opportunity to score, and we get in the backfield, make them fumble the ball, we jump on it, and now we're back on offense and have pretty decent field position, actually. So let's see what the Cougars offense can stir up here. And here we go. Miller is under center. And there is going to be a flag here. Alrighty, and that's going to be the call's escaping my mind, but it's going to go against Somerset. Either way, it's going to be 5 yards for the McLean County Cougars, so it'll be 1st and 5 here. Give them some much-needed yards. Miller goes under center again. Handoff to Munster. Gets up the middle. And looks like he's going to be stopped in his tracks there by a bunch of Briar Jumpers. We'll have to see where they spot it. And looks like he gains between 1 and 2 there. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 4. Cougars up to the line. Houston Bolton outright. Miller takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Munster up the middle. And he's going to get maybe a yard or two and get stuck right there once again. And it's going to bring up about 3rd and 1. So very manageable here for the Cougars. And one thing I like about Munster is whenever he gets the ball, he's going to put his head down and run as hard as he can.
Yeah, he always gets a few yards.
Yeah, and usually that run right there would generate him between 5 and 6 yards. But just because of the size of these guys, he's only getting 1 to 2 yards a run. And even with that, he still puts his head down. He's running as hard as he can. He's hitting holes as hard as he can, and he's playing really hard right now. So Miller under center, he's going to do a quarterback sneak, and they got plenty there for the first down.
Nice.
The patented McLean County quarterback sneak. Nice play there from the Cougars. So now we're on a 1st and 10 here. Ball was spotted on our own 39-yard line. 8:43 left in this second quarter.
39-yard line.
Number 5, Brady Dame, is running outright. Miller under center. Peyton Caraway into motion. It's going to be a handoff to Munster up the middle. And looks like he's going to get about 3 to 4 yards there. Nice pickup there by Munster. Good job by the old line to make him a hole and get him up the middle. So that'll bring up about 2nd and 6. Munster got about 4 yards there. Cougars slowly but surely building their confidence, and they're starting to move the ball down the field. They don't seem as timid. It looks like they're going straight at the Somerset defense here. So Peyton Caraway goes into motion. It's going to be a pitch out to Peyton Caraway. He's got the side. He's going to get up the side, and he's got a first down. And we are officially into Somerset territory. So great run there by Peyton Caraway, excuse me. He gets to the outside. Great run there. And now we have a first down and another 4 plays to go. So 1st and 10 here on the Somerset 49-yard line. 7:33 left in this game.
Yeah, if we keep doing this, Trey, we'll probably score here.
Yeah, I mean, if we keep marching the ball down the field like we are, I mean, there's a very good chance. So Miller's under center. It's going to be a handoff. I couldn't see who that was to, but he gets stopped right on the line. So that was number 11, Zach Clayton, who gets stopped at the, looks like is actually going to be stopped about a yard short. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 11 here. The ball is spotted on about the 50-yard line. We'll have to see what Coach Wagner draws up here. So no wideouts here. Miller under center. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a handoff. No, Miller's going to keep it. He gets to the outside.
Ooh.
He's got some room. He's going to – looks like he gains the first down there. Nice call there by Coach Wagner and great execution by the offense. Looks like it was going to be a handoff inside to Munster, but Miller keeps it and runs to the outside. And they're going to say that he was stopped just short of the first down, so it's going to be about 3rd and 1 here.
Well, this is great to see.
Yeah, I mean, you usually don't see Miller running the ball, but he kind of showed a burst of speed there, one we're not used to, and he got out to the outside and almost picks up the first down. Gains about 10 yards on the run, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. We'll have to see what the Cougars offense can do here. And there is going to be a flag there. Looks like they had 12 people on the field instead of 11. Looks like there's going to be confusion here. Looks like the officials and the Somerset coaches are talking something over. And they're going to move the chains up, so the McLean County Cougars officially get another first down. Ball is spotted on Somerset, and there is another flag. I think that's because the coach was getting a little bit mouthy, but there's another flag here.
Wow. It's very fortunate for the Cougars.
Yes, it is. We'll let him run his mouth as long as we want.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so far the ball is spotted on the Somerset 35-yard line. I think this is the deepest that we've gotten into Somerset territory. I could be wrong, though. So here we go, 1st and 10. Houston Bolton is out left. Looks like it's going to be Braden Piercy who gets the ball.
Ooh.
And he puts his head down and gets about 2 to 3 yards on the play, I would say.
We'll take that.
Yeah, rare run there by Piercy. It's very good, though. He got the handoff and went straight upfield. I mean, it was a nice little run by Piercy. He actually got more than I expected. I think that's 3 to 4 yards there. So nice run there by Piercy. 6:13 left in the second quarter. Miller is under center. He's going to send Connor Baldwin into motion, but it's going to be a handoff there to Andrew Munster, who puts his head down once again and breaks through that Somerset defense. And he's going to gain a nice amount of yardage there. Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Yeah, we're going to call it 3rd and 3 there. So Andrew Munster is back to doing what he normally does, getting the ball, shooting the gap, and getting between 3 to 4 yards of play. As Houston Bolton goes out right. Munster's in the backfield. And Miller's going to keep it, and he's going to get wrapped up there by a host of Somerset players. That's going to bring up 4th and I would say between 5 and 6. Loss of yards there. Miller was going to run the option, and he just had nowhere to go. He was surrounded, and all he could do was really fall and hold on to the ball. So that's going to bring up 4th and 6 here. We'll have to see what Coach Wagner's going to do, and he is going to go for it. And against Owensboro Catholic, we actually did a pretty good job of converting 4th downs. So we'll have to see if that converts over to this game.
Yeah, I think it will. They might be a little more motivated on 4th.
Oh, my God. So it was a quick play there. Miller takes the ball, snap, a little slant route to Houston Bolton, who was overthrown a slight bit. Try to reach up and grab it with one hand. Just couldn't hold on to it. If he would have, though, I'm sure he would have got plenty for the first down. But I think it was just a little bit of a miscommunication there. And now it's a turnover on down. So Somerset gets the ball on their own 31-yard line, which puts the Cougars defense back onto the field. But I will say the previous drive, the Cougars had a excellent ball control, and it looked like the old McLean County team, and it just didn't turn out the way we wanted. Either way, it's going to be a pass out to number 7. He's got plenty of blockers. He makes a few guys miss, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds. That is number 7, Cade Grundy, the 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver. And I can understand why these guys are having such a tough time taking him down. He's a monster.
Yeah, these are all big guys, Trey. We've got some little guys on our team.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it on camera, but up here you can just tell that the Somerset players are just huge compared to the McLean County players. As it's going to be a handoff to number 3, who cuts up the middle, tries to make a little spin move, but I think that was number 35 there, Andrew Munster, with a nice tackle on number 3, Cam Austin, 5'10", 204 pounds. And Andrew Munster looks like he's wearing number 35 tonight, because at the Owensboro Catholic game, he ripped his number 24 jersey, had to wear number 8 in the second half of that game, and now he's wearing number 35. So Andrew Munster has went through 3 numbers in the past 2 games. So Sharon is going to escape the pocket. He's getting chased down by number 34, Peyton Caraway, and he's going to get wrapped up there. No, he's going to gain a few extra yards, and he gains, looks like 20 yards on that play. So he has some pressure, escapes the pocket, and makes a few guys miss and just gets out into McLean County territory. So 3:42 is left in this second quarter. Sharon has one out right and left. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a handoff there to number 44, who Peyton Caraway tackles. Nice little tackle there by Peyton Caraway. That was number 44, Jared Smith, 6'2", 230 pounds. Peyton Caraway holds on for dear life and brings him down there. I think the sticks are moving, so it was a first down there. Sharon's in the backfield. He looks for number 44, and number 19, Connor Baldwin, was there. And number 44 just drops the pass. So even if he caught it, number 19, Connor Baldwin, was there to take him down. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Somerset Briar Jumpers.
2nd down and 10.
Kaya Sharon is in the shotgun. He's got triplets out to his left and one out to his right. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a little screen pass there to number 3. It's Austin, and he gets the first down right after running out of bounds. So I think that's the Briar Jumpers' 3rd straight first down. The ball is spotted on the McLean County 14-yard line. There's still 3 minutes left in this first half. Sharon's got one left and one right. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a handoff. And he's got some blockers, and he's going to run straight in, really untouched. That is number 3, Cam Austin. I think that's his 3rd touchdown of the night. And he just kind of walks right in untouched. He had plenty of blockers ahead of him, and the Cougars just couldn't seem to get a hold of him.
Yeah, this is a very tough team, Trey.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, this these guys are huge, and you know, it's just I can understand why our offense and defense is struggling here. Either way, it looks like the Briar Jumpers are going to go for 2 here. I'm not sure the exact reason for that, but it looks like Somerset is going to call a timeout. So we're going to take a quick timeout of our own to thank all of our sponsors for supporting us this season. Alrighty, Cougar fans, we are back as Somerset is going to go for the 2-point conversion. It's going to be a handoff to number 3, Cam Austin, who was stopped short there. Looks like that was by number 35, Andrew Munster, who shot the gap, got in the backfield, and stopped number 3, Cam Austin, from getting in for the 2-point conversion. So that brings your score to 26-0, Somerset, and they will be kicking off to McLean County here with 2:57 left on the clock to get something done.
And yeah, maybe Coach Wagner gave him a little pep talk, and we'll start turning things around. And I mean, this is only the first half. That's only half the game. We still have another half to come back, Trey.
And we've really, our offense hasn't looked, terrible. I mean, the last drive, we got it down the field.
We were close.
We were moving the ball. It's just the little mistakes that are getting us. I mean,
we cannot afford mistakes when it comes to a team like this, Trey.
Exactly, and if we do have a mistake, Somerset's going to take advantage of that because that's what they're trained to do. So McLean County really has to play perfect here. So number 7, Houston Bolton, is going to be back deep returning. That is number 85, Wobbles there. A little kick. Looks like number 2, Jaden Nelson, is going to be fielding the kick, and he's going to get jumped on by a bunch of Briar Jumpers, and we're going to start the offense at about the 34-yard line. So not terrible field position.
Yeah, pretty good field position.
And a great job there by number 2, Jaden Nelson, to run up and catch the ball, and he tried to get something done with it. But, I mean, by the time he caught it, really he was surrounded by the opposing team and just really couldn't get anywhere. So here we go, McLean County offense coming onto the field, seeing what they can get done against the Somerset defense here. Miller's under center. We got Bolton outright. Peyton Caraway. It's going to be a double. It's going to be a reverse here. Number 35, Andrew Munster. Looks like the Somerset defense sniffed out that reverse, and looks like Munster gained about a yard on that play. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 9 here. And it actually looked like the right side was wide open. It looked like if Peyton Caraway had maybe faked that reverse and kept it himself, he might have got more yardage than what Munster would have got. But either way, still a play that generated positive yards for us. So good job to the offense for that. Caraway goes into motion. It's going to be a handoff to Munster up the middle. And looks like he gained about 2 to 3 yards there. Clock is still running. There is 2:11 left in this 2:11 left in this first half. But Somerset is actually going to take a timeout here. So we're going to take a quick timeout of our own to thank all of our sponsors who have supported us this season. Alrighty, Cougar fans, we are back as the Cougars offense takes the ball. It's going to be a little pop pass there that is almost intercepted by Somerset. We saw that play actually against Catholic where they give Peyton Caraway the handoff. It's a little jump pass to Brady Dane. And this time it just didn't connect. Looked like a Somerset player was like in the line. And we just couldn't get it to Brady Dane. But if he had nobody ahead of him. And Brady's pretty fast, so he might have scored. Either way, the McLean County punt team is going to come out to kick to number 7, Cade Grundy. And Peyton Caraway, it's going to be a fake, and the Cougars do not get enough there to get the first down. Probably, I think that's the first fake punt we've seen all season, and didn't exactly go the way we turned out, but the props to the Cougars for being confident and trying it. So that'll cause a turnover on downs as the Somerset offense comes back out, and so does the Cougars defense. At the beginning of the second half, the Somerset offense will get the ball back as number 2 Sharon is in the backfield. He's dropping back in the pocket. He's going deep there to number 7, Cade, and wow, what a great pass to number 7, Cade Grundy, who just outran the Cougars defense, and a great pass there by number 2, Kaya Sharon, and all around just a great play there by the
Jumpers.
Yeah, the Jumpers offense, and looks like number 7, Cade Grundy, just outran the Cougars defense, and that's just something that we can't let happen. We can't let him get behind us and just score as easy as that. So it looks like the Briar Jumpers are set up to go for 2 yet again. So it's going to be a handoff to number 44 who runs up the middle and nearly stopped, but gets right in the middle for the 2-point conversion. So just like that, The Cougars offense is going to come back on the field to see what they can get done, and the Cougars defense is going to leave. So we'll be right back. So after a quick possession there by Somerset, the Cougars offense is going to come back on the field as Houston Bolton is set deep to return. We'll have to see what the Cougars offense can generate here. In about 1 minute and 56 seconds left, Cougars have plenty of time to work with to try to get it down the field. But here we go. It's going to be Tommy Wombles here for the kickoff. The ball is up. Looks like it's going to be fumbled there by number 24. And, oh, I'm sorry there. Fumbled there by number 36, Trey Warren, who, but he fumbles it, gets on top of it, and now the Cougars offense is going to have to take over here. Let's see where they spot it. They're going to take over on their own 37-yard line. Sorry, 27-yard line, excuse me. Cougars offense has 149 to work with to try and score here before the half. And after the half, we're going to kick off to the Somerset offense. Miller's under center. He's got one out left. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a handoff. No, Miller's going to keep it. Tries to make a few guys miss, but is just stopped in his tracks there. Looks like he might have gained a yard or two. Miller has actually done a lot more rushing than we've seen in previous games. I mean, after that big run from him at Catholic, looks like he's more confident with the ball, and he's trying to get to the outside and make something done. Get something done, excuse me. So 1:18 left in this first half. Clock is running. There is one out right, Miller under center. He's going to take the snap. It's going to be a handoff to number 19, Connor Baldwin, who gets stuck at the line. Big hit there. Officially 59 seconds left in this first half. Big hit there, delivered by one of the delivered by Somerset, excuse me. So after that, it's going to bring up about 3rd and 10 here. Cougars' offense was actually starting to roll a little bit towards the beginning of the second quarter, but here it's slowed down, and they looked pretty stifled out here. I mean, and we'll just have to see if we can get something rolling here, or maybe in the second half. So it's going to be looks like Miller kept it. Looks like I couldn't tell. No, it was number 11, Zach Clayton, who got the ball. And he gets out and completely stuffed there. And it looks like the Cougars punt team is going to come out. No, actually, we're just going to let the clock run out. Or is that going to be a timeout? So it looks like it was actually a timeout there, excuse me. So with that, we're just going to take a quick little break and thank our sponsors. Alrighty, Cougar fans, we are back. But it looks like there was a flag thrown on the play before we even snapped the ball. And there's actually, for the second time in this game, there is 12 jumpers on the field. So the Cougars get another chance at punting the ball. They're actually moved up 5 yards. So it's going to be 4th and 7 here. 20 seconds left in this game. Oh, no. Botch pump there. But it looked like that was James Hurley. And we're going to let it bounce. And it's going to roll out at about midfield. So a high, a very high punt. Looks like he didn't get a nice handle on it. Kind of slipped off of his foot. So jumpers are now going to get a chance here. The ball rolled out at about midfield. So they're going to get a pretty good field position. With 11 seconds left, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bombers went long here to try to, not the Bombers, the Jumpers went long here to try to get another touchdown.
Very odd name, Trey. I can see why you struggle with it. I'm kind of struggling with it too myself.
So
Briar Jumpers is their full name, I believe.
Yes. Very weird. And there's trips out right and one out to his left, so he's dropping back. Looks like he's going to go deep here. There is some pressure by McLean County. He does get it off to number 7, and he has some field ahead of him. He's got blockers, and he's making some guys miss, and he cuts back left, and he somehow gets into the end zone for another Briar Jumper touchdown. Looked like it was going to be a great play there from McLean County to come back and get the sack, but number 2, Sharon, somehow gets the ball off to number 7, Cade Gundy, who makes plenty of guys miss and just gets into the end zone almost effortlessly. So your score is now 40-0, approaching halftime, and looks like the Jumpers here are going to go for the PAT. And you know, Aaron, we had plenty of pressure in the backfield. We caused Sharon to make a pass we didn't want, and we just couldn't capitalize on that. I mean, that's something. I mean, our defense got back there, and we just couldn't finish the play.
I think we're spooked, Trey. I think we're a little scared of them being number 1 team in the region. But I know I've said it before, and I am an optimist. But I mean, this is only the first half. We still have the same amount of time. I mean, if they can score, we can score.
It's a very good point, Aaron. I mean, it's not over until the final horn blows, I guess. But it looks like Connor Baldwin was down there, and he's gonna come off the field. He comes off on his own power. Looks like he's gonna be fine. Maybe just a cramp or got rocked a little bit, but we'll have to see. The PAT attempt here goes up, and it is good. So that's gonna bring us into halftime. We are gonna thank our sponsors, and we'll be back for your second half action.
All right, folks, and we are back here in Somerset. We're the McLean County Sports Network. We have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds before second half action gets underway. Your Cougars trail the Somerset Briar Jumpers 41-0 here in this third round matchup of the KHSAA Gridiron Playoffs. In that first half, we really saw a team that really overmatches McLean County, just a bigger, stronger team, and they showed why they are one of the favorites to win the state championship this year. Came into this game 11-1. Their only loss was against Lexington Christian team midway through the season, a 1-point loss that they avenged last week. That Lexington Christian team held on to that number 1 ranking the rest of the season. So, folks, you're watching a Somerset team that is really on a road to meet up with the Mayfield Cardinals, at Kroger Field here in a couple weeks for the state championship. Going to read off a couple of quick stats for you here, starting with Somerset. Number 2, Kaya Sharon, the quarterback. He holds offers from a few D1 schools, Kentucky, Marshall, 6'3", 195. He really showed a lot of what he can do with his arm in that first half. 8 of 12, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. All 3 of those going to Cade Grundy, number 7. He finished that first half, 5 catches, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. They were led by number 3, Cam Austin, who ran the ball 5 times for 51 yards and 3 touchdowns. McLean County, troubled by a few turnovers in the first half, some bobbled handoff exchanges, really cost them as coming into this game. I know Coach Wagner was really keying on ball control, holding on to the football, having long sustained drives, much like we saw last week at Owensboro Catholic, a game in which we did a really good job of keeping a very good offense off of the field. In that first half, McLean County accounted for only 88 yards total, had 28 rushes for 44 yards, and saw a Somerset defensive front that was a lot stronger and bigger than anything we've really faced this year. In the passing game, Peyton Caraway was 2 of 4 for 44 yards. One of those was a catch by number 6 Landon Caps for 31 yards, and the other one to number 19 Connor Baldwin, one catch for 13 yards. Rushing, Caps 3 rushes for 9 yards, went out early in the game, midway through the first quarter, didn't return. Not expecting him to return in this one. Andrew Munster, 10 rushes, 20 yards. Peyton Caraway, 2 for 5. Baldwin, 2 for 4. Miller, 7 of 9. As the kickoff is dropped and then picked up at the 35-yard line. And the Briar Jumpers are into McLean County territory here to start the third quarter. Just to finish up that stats recap, Zach Clayton had 3 rushes, negative 6 yards. Braden Piercy, 1 rush for 3 yards. So, Trey, disappointing first half. Obviously, we were hoping for a little bit closer game. We knew coming into this one it was going to be an uphill climb. I don't think anybody that was a mystery to anyone. The Somerset team, we beat a good Owensboro Catholic team last week, but this Somerset team was ranked much higher than Owensboro Catholic throughout the season for a reason, as pickup of 4 on the first down run there for Somerset.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of Somerset players that have multiple scholarships already, to go not D2 scholarships, big schools. And as we said, this is a historically successful Somerset team. And, Somerset is always good, but that just brought them to the next level. And you can tell.
Yes, this team is always good. They've made runs to the state semifinals several times in the last decade, and actually played in the state championship, I believe, when they were in 3A several years back. But this year is good even by their standards. as running back takes a snap. He's running out left. He makes a couple of men miss. He gets down inside the McLean County 25-yard line to the 24. First down, Briar Jumpers. And anyway, historically good team, very, very good team, having probably the year that they were hoping for with this class. I think they have a lot of seniors and juniors that have played together for a while, and this is a year when a lot of people expected them to put it together, and that's exactly what they're doing. So 1st and 10, they're going to spot the ball at the 25-yard line. Most of the Briar Jumper starters have exited the game, so we have several backups on the field. They're going to go in a hybrid pistol formation here. We've got one wide both ways. Quarterback takes a snap. Give is to number 44. That's Gerard Smith, and he is dropped for a loss.
That's freshman Lucas Maziga in the backfield there.
Lucas Maziga, that's going to be a name that you're going to hear for several years as a freshman. Has came up big several times for McLean County this year. After a couple of games, really settled into a starting role on the defensive line and has done an excellent job. Well-built kid. We've seen him in the backfield some this year too, and when we have, it's been late in games, but he's had a lot of success running the ball. So that's a name and a young man to keep your eye on moving forward into the coming years.
I was actually talking to Coach Cersei at halftime, and he said Landon Capps actually suffered a shoulder injury and is still questionable for return. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Gotcha. So that's frustrating news to hear. There's a run by number 35. That is Guy Bailey, but there's a flag on the play, and I believe that one is going to come back. So that flag is in the backfield. I thought I saw a hold. Yep, there on the left side. So that's going to negate a solid run for the Briar Jumpers, push them even further back. But I know several people, I saw a couple of comments on the YouTube feed there wondering about Landon Capps' availability. Everybody's well aware of his playmaking ability and the humongous second half of the season he's had. He was absent with an injury through, I think, weeks 3, 4, and 5, and came back, played well for a few weeks, and then really started to take off and had humongous games. The biggest of all, his 270 yards against Hancock County in the first round of the playoffs just a couple weeks ago, as it's going to be 2nd and 25, and they're going to throw outright, and that is Smith, Smith on the reception, met by a host of Cougars right there. Matt Shadoan, sophomore quarterback in there now for Sharon, facing a 3rd and very long situation here from the McLean County 39-yard line. Line to gain is McLean County 15.
I was talking at halftime to some of the people in the stands, and they were mentioning how the Cougars are hitting these guys hard, but the plays where we would hit guys hard at Owensboro Catholic and they would fumble, we're just bouncing off of them now at Somerset, and you can really tell the difference between the size of these guys.
Yes, as Shadoan throws deep, middle, and misses. Intended receiver number 16, Jacob Smith. A freshman receiver for the Briar Jumpers, and we'll see what they decide to do here. As with the 41 points they scored in the first half, we are going to have a running clock this entire second half. So we're already down to 6.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. And with the youngsters they've put on the field, looks like they're going to work to try to get these guys some experience, maybe. I don't know, looking. Actually, they are going to punt this away. No, they're not. Never mind.
Yeah, they're kind of in a weird formation here.
They are. It's a hybrid
a hybrid pistol, one wide both ways. And there is Lucas Mosey with the sack. Freshman takes down sophomore QB at midfield. And Mosey looked pretty fierce there coming off that left edge. And like we said, guys, watch for that kid as he gets older and gets stronger, because he's only going to get better. And he's easy to notice. He has a lot of hair hanging out that helmet, so you always know it's him. I believe his nickname in middle school was The Beast, if I'm not mistaken, and he's lived up to that all year this year.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what Coach Wagner is drew up for the Cougars here at halftime, to see if they can really get something going here in the second half.
Yeah, in the first, especially the last 5 minutes of the first half, we saw a Cougar offense that was struggling to get a whole lot done. As the pitch goes to Houston Bolton, running out right, he has a little bit of room. He cuts it back. He gets out across the 40-yard line to the Briar Jumper 38. Big pickup on the play. They're going to mark that dead. Despite the loss of the ball there at the end of the play. That's going to be a first down, McLean County. And nice run right there by number 7, Houston Bolton, a senior. 11 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, and that was actually a nice pickup there by Houston Bolton. And we're starting to see guys who aren't usually involved get involved here, like Braden Piercy in the first half. We usually don't see a rushing play by him, but he got involved and actually picked up, 4 yards, which in this game was actually like a quite decent number.
Yeah, and Braden Piercy's a name that you're going to hear a lot next year. He has exceptional speed. He was really a star on the JV team this year from McLean County, hurt last year. So this is really the first year he's gotten a whole lot of experience. Is Peyton Caraway running right, tries to get the stiff arm, run out of bounds at the 33. There's a late flag on the play there. And we'll see if this stands or not. Pick up a 5 on the play by Caraway. And Caraway, actually, there's going to be a hold on the play, so that's going to negate the nice pickup by Peyton right there. Peyton, the 2018 District Player of the Year, was on a very good pace towards the end of the season and was hampered by a couple of nagging injuries. Never knocked him out of playing, but you could tell he's really favoring especially his right ankle and has been for about a month. And his offensive production has gone down, as you might expect. As Miller settles under center, puts Caraway in motion, and he is going to keep it running middle. He gets out to the 32, 33-yard line. Nice pickup on the play by Matthew Miller. And he's actually gotten a bulk of the carries this evening, especially after some of those fumbles we saw early in the game. Coach Wagner opted to keep the ball in the quarterback's hands a lot in those last 5 or 6 minutes of the second quarter. And, that is his 8th carry of the night. I believe that's probably a season high. There might have been one other game where Matthew carried it that many times. Picked up 9 yards in the first half. There's another 6.
Yeah, and McLean County has really took a non-traditional route in this game. And we threw the ball a bunch. We've kept it in Miller's hands. And, we've had trouble with getting it up the middle, just like Andrew Munster did there. But McLean County has had a very non-traditional game today.
No doubt. As Andrew Munster picks up the first down, ball was knocked out late. They're going to say he was down by contact. It's a pickup of 9 on the play and a first down for your Cougars. Nice pickup by Munster. He was our leading rusher in the first half. Carried the ball 10 times. Carried it hard. Had 20 yards on those 10 rushes. And Munster, the junior, humongous year on the defensive side of the ball. As we said earlier, he is now your season record holder for most tackles at McLean County. We'll see what his total ends up being. He's already broke the 182. As there's Mosey running up the middle, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up second down and 10. We're going to say a loss of 1 on the play, so second down and 11 for McLean.
I actually saw on Homer's radio Twitter feed that Andrew Munster is actually being nominated for the Heisman Award as a junior.
And that's big. Now, I tell you, it's rightfully so. I mean, he's very deserving of being nominated for that. I mean, to accumulate what's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 190 tackles on the season, rushing for 1,000 yards. He has 17 touchdowns coming into tonight as Matthew Miller keeps it running off the right side, gets down to the 20-yard line, pick up 3 on the play for the junior QB. But, you see a lot of guys nominated for these awards. Most of the time, they do most of their work on one side of the football or the other. Andrew Munster rarely comes off the field, and that's a testament to his strength, his endurance, and just how important he is to this McLean County squad. As that brings us to the end of the third quarter, and just like it began, your Cougars trail the Somerset Briar Jumpers 41-0 here at the Briar Patch Clark Field in Somerset. With that, we're going to take a quick break. Thank all of our sponsors again for all of your support this season. We're the McLean County Sports Network, and we will be right back. All right, folks, and we are back. Fourth quarter action here in Somerset. Your Cougars trying to get into the end zone for the first time tonight as Andrew Munster goes in motion. He gets a toss from Matthew Miller trying to get out left, gets down to about the 15-yard line. That's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2 for McLean County. Pick up a 5 on the play for Munster. And we'll see what Coach Wagner dials up here. Cougars have been able to move the ball a little bit here in the second half. Obviously, a lot of Somerset starters are now on the sideline for the rest of the game. But we've seen some positive plays from some players that we're going to see for a while as Matthew Miller takes off on the quarterback sneak, and he picks up a huge gain for that play, gets down to the Briar Jumper 7-yard line. It's a big pickup, 8 yards for Miller. First down, Cougars. And the good old faithful quarterback sneak, Trey.
Yeah, we've seen that once tonight, and we actually stopped seeing it for a few games, and now it's came back, and it's better than ever.
Yeah, there for a while, we could always count on 4 or 5 yards, especially A.J. Klein last year. Seemed like 4 or 5 yards were guaranteed every time he stuck the ball. As Peyton Caraway gets the handoff, running right, and goes in for the touchdown, TDMC, and that's a really nice way for Peyton Caraway here. His last football game as a McLean County Cougar football player to go into the end zone in the playoffs. Caraway's been an integral part of this team all 4 years. Like we mentioned just a few moments ago, he was the 2018 District Player of the Year, and in a nice way to cap off a fine career for that young man. So McLean's going to go for it here. And ball is given to Caraway again. He drops the ball, picks it up. They're going to say he was down before he rolled into the end zone. Tough call there by the referee. He dropped it, kind of rolled in, picked it up. But here, 9:36 to play, running clock. McLean County does get on the board here in Somerset as they trail the Briar Jumpers 41-6. And Trey, we're just going to stay on here a minute. This last few minutes of this game. This will be the last time you're on the broadcast here with the McLean County Sports Network. Came on last year. Trey's really been kind of the captain, the catalyst here for the football side of the McLean County Sports Network for the last couple of years. And he's going to be sorely missed as he's about to graduate. He's about to start basketball season. I believe you got a big scrimmage in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
So a little bit sad, a little bit somber, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that these guys can make it this deep and extend my time here on the Sports Network as long as possible. So this long playoff run helped them just as much as it helped me to get to stay on here as long as possible.
And I love that, man. It's been a pleasure. Fine young man. I'm excited to see what the future holds for you, buddy.
Thank you.
So here we go. Like we said, running clock. We're already down to about 8 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this football game. As Cougars about to kick it back to Somerset, and it's been a tough night for us, but an historic season. As Armando Rodriguez with the pooch kick, and Briar Jumpers do receive it. That's number 4, Brody Williams, and he gets into Cougar territory. Decent return on the play. And Armando Rodriguez, another senior, really took over this year as the Cougars' main kicker. Did a little bit of kicking, extra points, but really he's kickoff specialist. And I tell you what, one of the biggest plays of the game the other night at Owensboro Catholic was after we scored with 39 seconds remaining. He placed a perfect squib kick and put Owensboro Catholic deep in their own territory to start that final drive. They almost scored, but it was an excellent job by Armando as a handoff to number 35. That is Guy Bailey running left for Somerset. Pickup of about 5 on the play.
And one thing I've noticed is that if you look over to our side of the stands, not many people have left, and it's deep in this fourth quarter, and it just shows how bought in this community is to football, from the people in the stands, people watching at home. Everybody in the community was just cheering on these guys, and I'm sure that they greatly appreciate it.
Oh, I know they do. And it's been something to watch, especially over these last few weeks. Of course, last week, that win was arguably the biggest in school history. Getting to this point, a place where we've never been before, as there goes Bailey running out right. He's got the first down. But it's been a monumental season for McLean County. Last year we had our first playoff win in over 20 years. This year, we pick up our first second-round win ever. Beat Owensboro Catholic for the first time since 1992. Our first district championship since 1987. We broke numerous records this season. Rushing. We've eclipsed the team rushing record. Tonight we've have Andrew Munster, who has most tackles, most points, most touchdowns. It's just been a phenomenal run for this McLean County football team. As there's a throw left, caught by number 22. That is Hayden Dick. He gets inside the Cougar 20-yard line here. 5.5 minutes to play in this ball game. And now it looks like Somerset, they're going to be in position to host another game here at the Briar Patch, Clark Field, next week. They're on a collision course with Mayfield. I think everybody knows it. If you looked at the RPI, there were 3 teams that had distanced themselves from the pack. Somerset knocked off LCA last week, and the only one of those 3, or the only other one that remains, is Mayfield. And as they run up the middle there, short pickup on the play. But next week they're either going to host Beechwood or Breathitt County. I believe it's going to be Beechwood. Mayfield, I know they probably drummed Edmonson County tonight, so they're likely set up to have a home game against Breathitt, and the winner of those 2 games will meet at Kroger Field, K. Roger Field, formerly known as Commonwealth Stadium, here in a couple weeks for the state 2A championship. It's kind of interesting how the RPI works. Everything was locked at the end of the season to kind of rank these teams. It reminds you a lot of the BCS point system a little bit. And runner gets down to about the 10-yard line of McLean County.
Yeah, and even though McLean County is down by a large margin right here, I mean, these guys, aren't giving up. They're still going, as hard as they can, trying to stop this Briar Jumper team from scoring here. And, that just embodies, the McLean County football, their way of doing things. It's just to never give up, and that they never have once this season.
No, they haven't. Tonight they came in, they met an opponent that was bigger, stronger, faster, And in football, sometimes it's it's just a little too much to overcome, as it was tonight. But the fight, the determination of this football team will go unnoticed. I think a lot of people last year was a special team as well, finished 8-4, highest win total several years for McLean County, won that first round playoff matchup, and set a lot of the records that this team is breaking tonight. To have back-to-back years, 8-win seasons, have success in the playoffs, have all of these records broken, have a lot of seniors that graduated off this year's team and last year's team, to be just fine young men. I think Coach Wagner is doing just a phenomenal job. And they're going to give him the first down there on the run left. Looked like he's going to be bottled up by the Cougar defense, but a late stretch there by the big running back Gerard Smith, who's actually a freshman standing 6'2", 230. Big stretch right there. Gives Somerset the first down. But clock has gone inside 2 minutes remaining here at Somerset. To those of you that are listening, just a personal favor to me, anybody that ordered a Thanksgiving ham from the McLean County baseball team, you can come to the high school tomorrow and pick those up between 11 and 1 o'clock.
Ooh.
So there was a flag in the backfield. Peyton Caraway was on the tackle.
Yeah, he kind of manhandled that quarterback back there, probably trying to give him a taste of their own medicine after the way they've been kind of throwing the Cougars around tonight.
Yeah. So about one more, maybe two more plays left in this game. As I said, if you bought a ham, be sure to be at the high school tomorrow between 11 and 1. We're going to be out there bright and early, about 5 a.m. So me and the guys, we're going to hightail it out of here as soon as this game's over so I can get, nice 2.5 hours of sleep before I have to be back at the school. But just a magical year, and you hate to see it come to an end like this. But magical year, special team, and we have had a blast here with the McLean County Sports Network covering this team over the years, as this team has matured into what we've seen now.
Yeah, and, last year was supposed to be the special year for McLean County, and not a lot of people were expecting that out of this team.
Mm-hmm.
This team just kind of, surprised everybody, came out, and they gave it all they had, and they fought, with everything they had every game. And that's really what made it special, and that's what caused them to win.
Exactly.
And I know they didn't go out the way that they wanted to tonight, but I don't think their season could have went any better.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think after last year, everybody thought we'd take a step back this season. We've done just the opposite. We've taken another stride forward, and excited to see what Coach Wagner does with this program moving forward as the game has ended. and the teams are shaking hands. Final score here in Somerset: the Somerset Briar Jumpers 41, your McLean County Cougars 6. Cougars finished the season 8-5, district championship, and just an absolute historical win last week over Owensboro Catholic, and the memories that have been made on the football field by this team will never be forgotten. So, Trey, I'm going to give it to you for a little sign-off here as football season has come to a close for McLean County.
All righty, well, thank you guys for listening to me and hearing me try to get words out, even though I can't pronounce half of them right. But this has been the McLean County Sports Network, and we will see you guys next year.